Melbourne shot stopper is not superstitious as we get underway here in Canberra. And it's Canberra first kick of the ball. Jess Fishlock coming in to clean up for City. Tegan Allen back to Fishlock. And City go on the attacking commentary with me today. Former Matilda Heather Garriock, who's very much twitching with excitement about this clash.
I certainly am excited, Steph, and what a spectacle it's going to be today. And the point of difference tonight is it is a night game, and playing under lights is going to be a lot different. So both teams are going to play their own game, and in terms of tactics, they leave nothing in the tank, especially the heat doesn't play anything in this game today, even though it's 30-odd degrees. So we're in for an exciting game.
It's still quite warm here in Canberra, but for once the ladies have the better part of the day to play, and exciting to have a game under lights. Makes it feel like the occasion that it is. It's Rebecca Stott for City, sends it straight into the boot of Yukari Kinga. Alloway pushing further up the park. And Canberra retaliating now with Steph Oakes on the far side. It's a tumble from Melbourne City, but retrieved by Steph Catley. An energetic start, Heather.
Very, very energetic, and it's just getting the nerves out the first 10 minutes or so for both teams, and not conceding this first 10 minutes is really important. Trying to build confidence and instill confidence within the players.
And Timrack sent to the ground there by former City defender Hannah Brewer. It's in Canberra this year. She also had time at Newcastle Jets, spent most of her W League career there. Timrack, of course, a new addition this season. Here from the States, along with a number of her compatriots. Stott again playing at right back, as she has a number of times. Fishlock and Spencer do battle. Now Catley trying to thread the needle through to Jess Fishlock. Unsuccessful, and it's Emma Checker that sends Razo off on a bit of a hopeful run.
Have a look at this Melbourne City side. It's absolute quality. Their strength definitely being in their defence. Up top, obviously, you got Fishlock playing that third man run, but definitely the strength of the defence here today.
The interceptor picked up once more. City back on the counter. Beverly Yanez unable to run the ball down on the far side. City seem to have got their mojo back after 6 weeks where they went searching for a win. Had an emphatic win against Brisbane, and then also in the last game of the regular season, 2-0 win over Newcastle Jets in a match that was at times difficult. I'll tell you in a minute why, as Yukari Kinga dispossesses Timrack. Back to Tegan Allen. Allen winds up. Goes wide of Burke's goal, which the first shot in anger.
I'm really excited to see Tegan Allen play in this right wing position today. Usually she plays at the back and is usually a defender, so she's got a lot to offer, especially her aggressive running style.
The attack temporarily cut off by Stott. Allen back to Kinga. Two between Kinga and Beret. Yes, Melbourne City travelled up to Coffs Harbour to play their match against the Newcastle Jets, and flight was turned around in the air over Coffs, sent back to Sydney, and then they ended up having to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning again on match day to go and play the Jets. And Coach Jess Fishlock said during the week it just paints a bit of a picture of what their season's been like. However, back on track now, and trying to keep their title defence alive. Fishlock, of course, not just star, but also head coach now. Now with Fishlock. Yanez has Catley bombing down the left side. Needs to go for Catley. Crossed in. Fishlock's there. And shepherded away by Emma Checker.
And that could have been a handball, but that's what Catley does so well, is that running down the flank, overlapping, and if she does that all game today, she's certainly going to be a handful. But very good play there by Melbourne City.
City looking a bit more like the side of old. Allen was there, headed away by Razo. Those ribbons make her easy to identify. This is her nickname also. Now Stott. Tabane. Allen back to Tabane. Stott way up the park. And still on for City, working the ball patiently around. Tegan Allen crosses it in. Almost a head on it. It bounces down for Yukari Kinga. Headed back and picked up again by Canberra, who now go on the counter with the pace of Jasmine Spencer. Spencer, Sykes tracks back to save herself an offside flag. And the attack comes undone.
And that's what Melbourne City need to be careful of while they've got an attacking mindset with Fishlock making that third man run from the midfield. They've also got the speedsters up front in Canberra with Sykes and Spencer.
Young Grace Maher has become a regular feature of this starting side. Oakes, Spencer there, but Laura Alloway up to the challenge. Back to Steph Oakes. Kinga gets a boot on it, into Spencer. Yukari Kinga, still with Kinga. And eventually it's Rebecca Stott with the intervention. Yukari Kinga, such a dangerous player and an amazing addition to this Canberra side.
And see that combination play, little 1-2 just in the front third, and great defending there by Melbourne City. But the quality that Kinga has, especially that Japanese style of football, loves the 1-touch and 2-touch football, especially in that front third area.
First corner of the game. Oh, it's managed to palmed away by Lydia Williams. She knows all too well how dangerous the Canberra attack is.
I'm sure Lydia Williams would feel a little bit weird coming back to her home state, the state that which she was oh so loyal to. Changing clubs, no doubt, change of character and character building for Lydia Williams. So I'm sure she wouldn't feel at home here. I'm sure it'd feel a little bit different for her playing against her green machine.
Yeah, perhaps she'll be more relieved than most that this match is at GIO Stadium and not at McKellar Park, which was once, as you said, Heather, her home for 8 seasons of the W League. However, it's interesting to note that this season, each side has had a win, but both those wins have been away. Gathered in by Tegan Allen for City. Tabane goes back to Stott. Alloway returns it to Williams to start off the attack again, and now Lauren Barnes. Well, that's a beautiful ball that drops just in front of Stephanie Catley on the left flank. Fortunately, Jenna McCormick cut her off.
And again, Catley getting in down that left-hand side. She's just sitting on the shoulder of McCormack there, and it's very dangerous.
For Catley now, still with Steph Catley, and the deflection skies over the bar. Beg your pardon, Heather, carry on.
No, it's just the first 8 or so minutes for Catley has been fantastic. She's got 3 crosses in the box and made a storming run into the box, and she'll be a handful today. She already seems like it. In fact, the whole Melbourne City team.
You can see it there, how speedy she is, and she's always given licence to roam from that left-back position. She also plays for the national team. Started, of course, further up the park in her career and has not only gone back to be a more than competent defender, also very valuable up the park as Hannah Brewer once again saves Canberra's blushes, stops the counter-attack of Melbourne City.
And Melbourne City are exploiting these flanks. They know that Canberra United are playing 3 at the back, a flat 3, and there's space in there in those left and right-hand sides, and they're exploiting it.
Stott through to Catley, headed down and picked up by Emma Checker. Checker not been back that long from injury. Timing is perfect as Helly Brush, of course, picked up an injury and it's on the Canberra bench. No doubt to be injected later in this match. Quite a bit of experience on both benches, as I mentioned earlier. The City bench only with 4 players. You surprised by that, Heather? No Jacinta Galabata-Archie, who's been such a talent for them this season.
What a disappointment that is. The youngster has played several games for Melbourne City throughout the season, has come on and started a few games, and the impact she has had has been fantastic, and she'd be one player that you'd love to put on, especially if things weren't going too well for Melbourne City. So it's disappointing that she didn't get a run today, or even travelling.
However, we're yet to find out if they need her, and perhaps if they win, she'll get a chance in the big game to finish the season. Now City on the attack again. Beverly Yanez. Fishlock, midfield maestro. The telegraphed that pass to Devane, picked up by Ma. Oh, now the Canberra attack off on a run again. Chip on the other side draws the whistle of Rebecca DeCoe.
That's one thing you cannot allow Canberra to do, especially this young lady, Ashley Sykes. Get her into space. When she drives into space, she's too quick. Of course, as a defender, you're going to have to pull her down, especially in those areas.
It's the first card of the game. Tico goes to her pocket to issue one to Lauren Barnes.
And as a defender, it's very hard to pick up a yellow card in the first 10 minutes. You seem to hesitate during the game. You don't want to go into those big challenges because you don't want to get sent off. So very difficult, especially mentally.
Well, the ball is high, wide at the back post. Oh, and it's headed away by a Melbourne defender. Ricochets back in. Celeste Beret with a shot for Canberra. Now Checker. Oh, Canberra with 2 or 3 attempts. Valiant defending from Melbourne City, particularly by Rebecca Stott. Wonderful backing up for Lydia Williams there.
And what an unbelievable header off the line. That was certainly going in. What a great header. That would have changed the game. Melbourne City have started off in positive form, keeping possession, playing like the old Melbourne City.
Certainly have, but it's been Canberra with the more dangerous attacks, and now it's back with Jasmine Spencer. Steph Oakes. Beret. Misstep, then we'll find Sykes and Kinger on the right. And Beret, another perhaps mistimed run, allows Fishlock in. Super battle between Tegan Allen and Hannah Brewer.
What a battle that's going to be today. They're both very, very similar players. They're both very aggressive. Love a good tackle, love a 50-50 tackle. Have a look at this. What a great header across the goal and headed down by the international Stott.
I think it might have been Ivy Lewick with the header perhaps. We'll maybe get another look at that, but no, Stott been absolutely magnificent so far, and we know how valuable she is. Shame she doesn't play in green and gold, Heather. Of course, she started her career in Australia, and after she played juniors, she went and joined her country of birth, New Zealand.
It is a shame, and there's several players like that. One that springs to mind is Christy Moore as well. Would have been a great addition to the Australian national team.
Indeed, well, there was a pause for the whistle, but City very professionally played on for the whistle that didn't come. Now back on the attack, Mariana Tabane. Tabane hoping to find Fishlock, finds the head of an offside Melbourne City coach. Shakes her head and trots off. Wonder how she's found these past 5 or 6 weeks.
I'm sure very stressful. It's not easy to be a player coach, and especially when your team's not winning.
Look at this ball for Ash Sykes, and now she's off on a run again. Charging in, Ashley Sykes. And this time Lauren Barnes with the crucial tackle. Well, Melbourne City have undoubtedly prepared for Sykes' speed, but she's managed to get behind the lines a couple of times already.
And like I said before, what a fantastic tackle. She's just gotten a yellow card, and to be able to time that tackle so perfectly. Quality defending. And Sykes, again, off the shoulder, just slows down a little bit. She's not a natural left footer, but fantastic sliding tackle.
Well, it's high again for Canberra. Checker turns, shoots. Oh, it's over the bar. It's a couple of attempts for Emma Checker already. She's come back in fantastic form from her year off with a knee injury. Also had some tonsillitis, I think, at the beginning of the season, and says she's back fit and firing and in full health.
What a credit to Emma Checker, and it's great to see. She played her first game 45 minutes, her second game 90 minutes, and she's played 90 minutes ever since. And to come back from a 12-month injury, the strength and character shown by her with the rehabilitation and the support from Canberra United is excellent to see.
Yeah, super setup here in Canberra. Fishlock puts it in front of Beverly Yanez. Yanez still on a run. Defence chasing. Checker intervenes. Sent away by McCormick. Only as far as Stott, who's run all sorts of distance already this match. Tegan Allen with the cross. There's no one there to receive it. Goes to the far post where McCormick cleans up. I'd rather thought that'd be a peach of a ball to have a bunch of Melbourne City strikers come tearing in.
What a great run from Fishlock, just off the shoulder. That wasn't offside, in fact. They're the dangerous runs that she makes, and they're all so clever.
Well, here's another one of Fishlock's runs, and she sends the ball high over, hoping perhaps to find a teammate or even the top corner of Trudy Burke's goal. Fishlock, the top scorer for Melbourne City so far this season, with 6. Melbourne City have only had 19 goals this season, which is exactly half of what they scored in their Premiership Championship double last season. Of course, then they also had world-class midfielder Kim Little in their ranks.
Yeah, Kim Little, Lisa Devana, who scored a lot of their goals last season.
Larissa Crummer, the golden boot. Fortunately, Crummer injured and come up to cheer her teammates on. Got a bit of rain falling here. Seems we can't win with weather in the W League. However, this make the pitch nice and slick. Who will that suit better?
I'd suit both teams. Both teams are very possession-based teams and like to play good football. So it's going to be a battle of the quality football teams today. And I think Melbourne City started off much, much better. It looks like the old Melbourne City. They seem very cool and calm and just knocking the ball around. And it's transition play where they've gotten in behind. Fishlock making those third-man runs. So very dangerous.
One thing is for certain, we are in for an absolute belter of a grand final after Perth Glory had a massive win over Sydney FC in the first semi last night.
Would you have picked that score? Absolutely not, especially Sydney. With the experience they have, the quality of team, calibre of players, definitely not. Well done, Perth Glory.
Well, here's a beautiful run. It's picked up for Jasmine Spencer. Ash Sykes back with Jasmine Spencer. Spencer's there. And the referee's whistle had already gone. Those counter-attacks from Canberra are lightning fast.
Yeah, once again, another transition play. But Jasmine Spencer, she's been a live wire for Canberra and she started off super, super well in these first 20 minutes. All she needed to do was make an arc run to stay onside. Really good signs for the front two for Canberra United.
Indeed, Jasmine Spencer, it's difficult to believe she hasn't fired yet for Canberra this season. Had 9 appearances, an ankle injury picked up early on in the season. Moved here from Sydney FC and yet to stick the ball in the back of the net.
When you're signing a marquee or international player and she's played 9 games for the team as a striker, you'd want her to be scoring goals or at least assisting. So today might be her day. She started off super well.
Indeed she has. Catley with the outside of a boot. Sends it in for Yanez. Well, I think Trudy Burke is probably all over that. It ends up being sent away for a corner for Melbourne City. What can Melbourne City affect here? Emma Checker sticking tight in defence. It's a decent delivery. It's punched up in the air by Burke. No players handy of either side to gather it in, and there will be a City throw. Trudy Burke will be enjoying this against her former team. A title with them last year. Tegan Allen's ball in a little bit too deep. But Trudy Burke had 3 appearances for Canberra way back when. Went to the Wanderers for a while and then joined Melbourne City. Now she's hoping for another title, perhaps with Canberra this time.
And what a year Trudy Burke's had. She's won the premiership, the grand final with Melbourne City in the NPL. She's won everything, championship, premiership with Sydney University, and now again with Canberra United. What an amazing year she's had.
Oh, ball in from Catley again. Timrock running in, couldn't beat Trudy Burke. Well, that ball dropped just in front of Jasmine Spencer, which unfortunately she couldn't gather in. She wasn't going to win the aerial battle. And retrieved by Canberra. Canberra on the offensive again. Well, Oakes was there. Couldn't gather in. Steph Oakes back with Canberra once more. Cheers from the crowd as the ball gets sent into the area once more. Back to Jenna McCormick. Headed away by Laura Alloway. Another one of that Melbourne City back line that 4 have stood solid in recent weeks.
And Canberra has gotten a lot of joy from playing in and around and playing combination play in the front third, and hitting the direct ball is not going to cut it today.
Beret tries to juggle the ball over the top of Lewick. That ball's going to be just in the right spot for Hannah Brewer. Timrack chasing hard. Still chasing. Burke's clearance quite urgent, headed down by Tegan Allen. Now Yanez. Fishlock puts it down for Tabane. King with the last kick. Melbourne City looking lively, quite happy to pass the ball around in attack. Again with Stott. Allen. On to Fishlock. Stott. Well, neat ball from Rebecca Stott to Jess Fishlock. Oh, and he hits the side netting after a boot from Trudy Burke. Melbourne City on the attack again, and Jess Fishlock, give her an eye at goal, always dangerous.
What a clever little back heel, and Fishlock would be disappointed with that. That needs to go far post. But that started out with Tegan Allen being patient. Rather than bombing the ball in directly into the box, like we've seen in several weeks, she just remained or kept the ball and kept it patient and just pulled it back out.
Yeah, fantastic work from both sides in this opening 22 minutes or so. Plays a pause for a drink break. Let's go down and join Amy Duggan, who's with the national team coach.
I am. Alan Stajic joins me here on the sidelines of a very busy Canberra Stadium. Great crowd here today, and 2 great matches to highlight our semi-final weekend. Let's quickly touch on last night first, Al. Great game, and it must be awesome to see Sam Kerr in such fine form.
Yeah, she's been on fire all year, hasn't she? She's really dragged that team and propelled the team to where they are. Look, but just great team effort from Perth. I thought Sarah Carroll was outstanding, nullifying Caitlin Ford virtually the whole game. So, it was a great team effort from Perth. Sydney were really good in the first half. They were probably unlucky not to be in front, but Perth just wore them down in the second half.
And obviously here tonight, the big ticket on the line, these 2 teams going head-to-head. How have you seen it so far?
Yeah, it's a close game. Could go either way. It's very tight, isn't it? There was one cleared off the line there, and Melbourne City have had a couple of little chances as well. Catley looks like she's doing well down the left-hand side, so could be a long night, I think.
It will be, and you'll have your eye on a few people. Matilda Spott's on the line, I know, with some camps coming up shortly. Thanks for your time here, Alan. Enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, thank you indeed. Alan Stajic, of course, preparing for an Algarve Cup trip in Portugal, which I believe one Heather Garrick will be potentially looking at with interest as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's national team camps coming up and going to Portugal for these players. So what a fantastic opportunity to play your best football, especially in front of the national team coach, Alan Stajic.
Well, plenty to play for indeed. It's been a while since the Matildas have appeared at an Algarve Cup. Exciting times indeed. Alan Stajic looking very relaxed. Flag goes up against the City attack. Bit of face furniture there for Mr. Stajic. Do you think he'll be shaving that off?
Oh, I'm sure he's just in relax mode at the moment. Once it comes to Matilda's camps and playing against Portugal, playing against some of the top teams in the world, first game being against Sweden. Business as usual for him. I'm sure he's excited to get back into it.
Indeed, he's looking great, and good to see him so relaxed as Hayley Razzo now starts off another attack for Canberra. Goes back to Brewer. Brewer dispossessed temporarily by Timrak, fights back, tenacious work from Hannah Brewer. Comes undone though, and ball maybe a little bit beyond Tegan Allen. She's going to give it everything she's got. A little bit too far.
Canberra United, the defence, are so worried about the ball getting played over the top of them that there's a massive gap in the middle of the park, and that's where Fishlock is making her third man runs, and Canberra struggling to nullify that.
Well, it's something they would have worked on too. Celeste Beret had a big job trying to nullify Jess Fishlock in the last match. Lauren Barnes with the intervention there for Melbourne City, and did it to great effect in Canberra's win. It's a tough job though to control the likes of Jess Fishlock, and she's just one player in a team of talent. And Timrak left with Tabane. Stott. Alloway, Matilda's central defender as well. Always keeping an eye out for Catley. Just unable to gather it in. Paddy Fisnorbo, of course, the assistant coach for Melbourne City, as the head coach is in the middle of the park, and former captain of Melbourne City men's side, also in charge of the youth league side. He's also a busy man.
Yeah, I'd love to see Melbourne City. They're such a professional outfit, a quality club. You saw the stadiums they've built, the training facilities. I'd love to see them go that one bit further and employ a full-time women's coach rather than split the job between the national youth coach.
Well, do you think Jess Fishlock will get that role next year?
I'm sure she's still in very good form at the moment, so I'm sure she wouldn't give up a playing career to be the full-time assistant.
Yeah, undoubtedly a big coaching career ahead of her, and first time we've had a player coach in the W League. And Timrak. Catley, calls of Steph from Yanaz. Streaking down the far side. A bit out of reach. If those passes perhaps a little bit more clinical, City are going to create all sorts of havoc behind the Canberra defensive lines.
That's definitely been worked on during the week. Is Yanaz and Catley working down that left-hand side. They've been fantastic together. Their combinations together. They're lining up against McCormack, and they've gotten a lot of joy.
Now Yanaz on a run. Still on the ground, and the shot's in off the crossbar. Melbourne City almost with the opening goal. That was very close indeed. It's perhaps the second shot that Timrak has had that's gone very, very close to Trudy Burke.
And again, just the little combination play and getting to the byline, and that's just not good enough. Hitting the bar, especially that close to goal. She'd be disappointed with that.
And Timrak, who's come over on loan from Kansas City. She's already had a couple of goals this season. In the City colours. I'm sure she'd love to add to that tally today. But now it is with Canberra. Kinga splits the defence, finds Hayley Razzo. Stott in great pursuit. Razzo manages to run around her. Still Razzo. Oh, bounces back, drops for Celeste Beret. On the far side, just beyond Stephanie Oakes. And time again, that quick transition is causing a lot of scuttling for the Melbourne defence.
It's a counter-attack, but it's become predictable because both Razzo and Sykes are both right-footed. So Stott knows, Barnes knows, Alloway knows that they're only going to go on their right foot. Maybe they can fake it and go on their left foot and use the left-hand side.
Well, it's crossed in this time, and Yakari King was waiting there. Oh, she was ready to put her head on that.
In that situation just there, Razzo is standing by herself and she's defending nobody. in those little pockets, she needs to be far post.
City evade the danger once more. Only Razo nips through, picks the pocket of Rebecca Stott. Still with Razo. Splits it apart, was there for Spencer. Now back to Yukari Kinga. Kinga winds up, unleashes. Oh, causes great effort from Lydia Williams. Yukari Kinga, 2 goals last week in exceptional form.
And it's just building confidence from last week. That strike is absolute quality. You can just see it dipping. Lydia Williams did have it covered though.
Well, we've ticked over the half hour here at GIO Stadium in Canberra. Still 0-0. Sides fighting for a spot in the grand final. The winner of this one will meet Perth Glory in the season 9 decider. Well, folks, it's a little bit early to be talking about extra time and penalties, but that's what will happen should the scores remain level. The ball drops for Beret. Not quite enough control on the pass. Possession has been heavily weighted in Melbourne City's favour, 65% to 35. Having said that, they haven't entirely controlled the game so far.
No, exactly, and Melbourne City are by far the better team in terms of passing, but Canberra United have certainly been dangerous, especially in transition. But the thing that Canberra need to be careful of is you got Rasso, who's just mindful of Tegan Allen, who's doing her defensive duties very, very well. But Rasso isn't pushing on, so she's not keeping the width for for Canberra United. So therefore, Canberra's going down the centre quite a lot.
Well, Melbourne City happy to build up patiently once more. Of course, as we mentioned, there's bits of firepower on both benches, but the most interesting one by far is one Lisa Devanna, captain of Melbourne City last season. Now in Canberra United colours. She'd be itching to get her feet into this game as Kinga shrugs in disbelief perhaps. But what a weapon to have on the bench for Rodower.
Lisa Devanna, in my mind, or in my opinion, is definitely going to be the point of difference in today's game, similar to Sam Kerr was in last night's game, Perth Glory. So she'll be fired up, ready to razzle in this second half.
Well, Timrock there for City, headed down by Hannah Brewer. Jasmine Spencer gets away momentarily from Ivy Lewick. Tries to find Catley. And Steph Oakes, with a neat back heel, unfortunately, is presenting it back to Catley. And still with City on the attack. Jasmine Spencer uses her body well. And Canberra off on another run. And colliding with Beret. Now Razo. Well, that was neat work from Laura Alloway. The crowd starts to get into the action here at Bruce Stadium. Back with Kinga, that's what they want to see. Flag down for Ashley Sykes, still with Sykes. Assessing her options. Oh, brought down by Oates. Unleashes, unfortunately, hits the back of Celeste Beret. The shot is cut short, might be open again for Steph Oakes. Top there, Spencer's there, punched away by Williams, who looks like she might have also been caught by Jasmine Spencer's boot. Brave goalkeeping. Almost certainly saved Melbourne City from going a goal down. Boot to the elbow, perhaps?
Yeah, it looks like a boot to the elbow for Lydia Williams. It doesn't look good, but that was certainly a 50-50 tackle. And for Stephanie Oakes to be able to cross that in, or have a shot with a left foot and then come back and hit it with a right foot to cross that in, that was absolute quality. And in terms of Jasmine Spencer, she was only going for the ball. There was no malice in that whatsoever. Great little ball in behind. brave goalkeeping.
Indeed, what we're used to from Lydia Williams. Gee, Heather, we've had a really rough run of form with our goalkeepers this season, haven't we? And of course, last week we saw Sham Karmas come to blows with the post and a couple of players, and of course was out with concussion last night, which saw the transferred Claire Quaylo in goal. But now we've got another debutante warming up on the sidelines. Emily Shields plays for Box Hill United in the Premier League level.
That'd be a massive blow if Lydia Williams went off, but she's a tough cookie. It's just a kick to the elbow. But let's talk about, Steph, what about the signing of Newcastle Jets? Quaylo, they finished their season. Sham Karmas has got injured or concussed, and they've got a second goalkeeper, and they turn to another goalkeeper. What do you make of that?
Well, I'd be very disappointed if I was Sarah Easthope, because I thought she did a really good job in the latter part of last game. Oh, Jess Fishlock comes through and the ball drops in front of Grace Maher. Still fighting hard with the Melbourne City defence. Fishlock steams away and sends a massive aerial ball up for Tegan Allen to chase, but it's going to be easily dealt with by Hannah Brewer. Although a pass back to Emma Checker, not quite as precise. I know Sarah Easthope perhaps disappointed with that, and particularly given the result for Sydney FC. Now Melbourne City on the attack once more. Stott. Catley lurking in the middle of the park. Barnes. Now Fishlock. Fishlock controls beautifully. Thought she might have over-telegraphed that rather to Tegan Allen. And Razo's run cut short by Stott. Now, as you mentioned earlier, Heather is well alive to the pace that Hayley Razo possesses.
Yeah, just in the last couple of minutes, she's been in and about, and this is definitely this is just an accident, but a smart little foul from her, because Hayley Razo would have been on her way, and she's another quick one up top.
Let's call it a smart accident. Yes, indeed. Razo off and away again. And he runs down the flanks, but once again, it's a technique they've used oft before, and teams will be wise. One wonders, though, Heather, how much knowing about a danger and being able to deal with it are two different things. Sam Kerr, everyone knew was going to be dangerous yesterday. Didn't make it easier to deal with her, as City have another intercept, and Timrak battling 1-on-2. The flag was up.
No, the referee had called that offside. She saw that. I saw that from the commentary box, and the assistant referee didn't see it. So, great call by the referee.
Rebecca Ducot all over, experienced W League referee. Having said that, Sarah Ho on the near side is equally experienced. Often runs the lines in the men's Hyundai A-League as well. The whistle goes back to Rebecca Ducot's mouth. Tegan Allen picks herself up off the floor. Sends Allen away. No card, perhaps a warning, as Ash Sykes trickles into the box once more. Still there for Sykes, cuts back, and it's there for Oakes! Stephanie Oakes, so close. Melbourne City safe once again. A leaping Lydia Williams would possibly have missed that shot from Oakes had it been on target.
For this Canberra side to be successful and progress to the grand final, this is exactly what you want. There's 2 1-2s in this, and getting around the Melbourne defence, that's how it has to be. That was absolute quality. Unfortunate for Oakes. Should have been on target.
Well, she's been on target plenty of times before for this Canberra side. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of her scoring. 11 goals she's had in 39 appearances. Of course, she's out here from Houston Dash. This is Lydia Williams. A couple of others have played for the Dash as well. And in fact, welcome to any of our American viewers watching this one over in the States. Quite a lot of their compatriots in action in the W League.
And the W League just complements the American League, doesn't it? If you want to continue your footballing during the year, just come over to Australia, have the lovely weather and play some quality football.
Certainly lovely weather. You'll get pretty warm though, and if you speak to the likes of, say, Megan Oyster, who hails from Chicago, Illinois, where it's a foot under snow at the moment, she'll tell you just how warm it is, but loves the fact that you can play outdoors this time of year.
And there's one club that's definitely fulfilled the W League, and that's Chicago Red Stars. They've had many players over here this season. It's great to see just some of the quality of players being over here and playing in this W League.
I think we might have half the Reds roster over here. We've got a few of the Red Stars here.
We have indeed.
Number of Orlando Pride as well, of course, if you're on the park today. Tom Samani, coach of Orlando. We also had a couple of these players join Jessica Fishlock at Seattle Reign. Marissa Cromwell make her way there. Rebecca Stott, newly signed in the draft. Well, headed over cleverly by Ash Sykes. Can Spencer gather in? She can't, and it's Lauren Barnes with the quick feet. Alloway, another one of Tom Samani's charges, as is Catley. And just 5 or so minutes remaining in this half. It would be the perfect time for one of these sides to get the upper hand.
And if you're Canberra United, you'd be wanting to go into the break 0-0, knowing that you got the likes of Lisa Devana on the bench to come on.
Indeed. Well, the ball from Trudy Burke not quite cleared. Yanez sends it flying back in. Fishlock charging down. Burke more than equal to the task. And here's space for Hayley Razo down the net. Left flank once more. Allen chasing. Snakes back to Beret. Canberra setting up their attack. Sykes with the cross. Spencer's there. Can't get her foot on it. Catley's clearance only goes as far as Kinger. Decent build-up from Canberra. Now Emma Checker. She spotted Razo in a bit of space. Hayley Razo. Still on for Canberra. Razo beats one. Can't beat Lydia Williams. Decent work from Razo, and perhaps a little bit sloppy from Melbourne City on that occasion.
Yeah, just not enough pressure on the ball on Checker, and she's able to hit that long diagonal ball. But again, Razo, she's only ever going to go to her right peg. So that's where Stott's taken her. Stott probably needs to get a little bit closer so she doesn't get the shot off.
Williams gets us underway again. An unfortunate header from Hayley Razo almost gifted the ball to Jess Fishlock. Checker's ball goes back to Stott now with Barnes. Catley trotting down the left side. Link ball to Timrack. She spotted Yanez. Cut down by McCormick. McCormick's been super for Canberra United backline. As I say, that almost dispossessed, manages to retrieve the ball. And it's deemed to have gone over the sideline.
She certainly has had her work cut out for her, especially with Yanez and Catley overloading that side. And it's very hard when you're playing three at the back. You don't want to release, because once you release, there's only 2 against 2 in the middle of the park, and that's where Kinger has had to come into the back line to help out when McCormack does release.
As we move into the last minute of regulation time in this first half, City's still searching for that opening goal. Both sides, in fact, still 0-0 here in the capital. Which coach is happier, Heather Garriock?
I think both coaches will go in very, very content, especially 0-0 in a semi-final. There's a lot of pressure on in terms of not getting scored against is the most important thing, and you're still in the game. And for me, like I said, Ray Dower would be super happy to bring Lisa Devana on off the bench. She'd be fired up playing against her old team. What a night this could be for Lisa Devana.
Certainly could. Dara throws the ball to Kinga to start play off again. Perhaps a few minutes for perhaps one of these sides to find the goal that sets the play in motion. Hannah Razo's determined it will be Canberra. Fishlock equally tough on the other side. 3 minutes to be added on. Players will be glad of a break. It's much cooler than it was in the afternoon, but still pretty humid and hovering just under 30 degrees here. And Razo's header drops blocked off between Barnes and Jasmine Spencer.
And a great decision by Football Federation Australia to change the game to have the men be the curtain raiser for the women.
Always a treat, doesn't happen too often. In fact, has it happened before?
Never happened before.
Well, they did a nice job, and of course it's a Central Coast Mariners home game for the A-League today, and they managed to win, and perhaps Canberra will read whatever portents they like into that.
Congratulations to Paul Ocon from Central Coast Mariners. Good game.
Consecutive wins as Sykes goes charging down the field. Clearance from Williams as she scuttles back to her area. Allen, and the battle has been intense between these sides, and both equally skillful. On paper, they're two very talented sides. Both earned their spot here in this semi-final. Today it is winner takes all. There is no second chances.
And Canberra's slipped up defensively on many occasions this season, but in this first 45 minutes they have been excellent, faultless.
Certainly been solid, and dicing with danger there, but Beret runs away. Now Stephanie Oakes, looking for a convenient shirt, finds Ashley Sykes. And Steph Catley paying close attention back to Beret, spoons it rather in the air. Nothing Jasmine Spencer could do with that. And Grace Maher manages to keep the ball in play after Timrak misjudges. Now Razo. Razo's ball's in the air. Oh, Spencer thought perhaps there was another attacker behind her. This time from Checker. Fishlock with the intervention that time. Back to Yanez. And off City go again. Now Yanez looking for support. It's a bit slow getting forward. Ivy Lewick is turned and takes a tumble. She's been fouled by Hannah Brewer.
And Hannah Brewer says what? But that's what type of game she plays. She's very tough, she's very aggressive, and Ivy Lewick didn't take a look over her shoulder, and she went for the ball. So a really strong tackle.
Well, the 3 minutes have ticked over. This may well be the last play of the first half. Chance for Melbourne City. And collected easily by Trudy Burke. Saw it all the way in. Gratefully clutches it. And that ends the first stanza. At the halftime break, it is still level, pegging neither side able to get ahead in the race for the last remaining place in the grand final. A cracking 45 minutes still to come. But at the main interval, it's Canberra United 0, Melbourne City 0. Stay with us after the break. Amy Duggan and Sarah Walsh will to Bain on the other side for City.